church planting was not on our radar initially. And then he just said, as I keep praying, God keeps laying on my heart people that I went to high school with. People that were just coming to his mind that he was like, I don't know if they know Jesus. He said, Sarah, so God keeps bringing back to mind Morristown.
Things fell into place really quickly after that, and getting to meet in the Howard's home and just hear a little bit about what Ben's vision was for the church and what it would look like.
And I just remember thinking, this is the beginning of something really, really big that God is about to do.
We moved into the Rose Center. Honestly, I had no idea if people would come or not.
I do remember being amazed, actually, a little bit, in that people did show up.
So people would get there really early and set up all the chairs, the pipes and drapes to like block off the little classrooms.
The first time I attended, the very first song that we sang, Tyler wrote and was leading worship at the time, and it was The God of Second Chances. And I remember just feeling pretty instantaneously like I'd found this place that I could fit in. Nobody in my family was a believer. I was never raised in church. I didn't really know anything of the Bible. I just knew there was a God that loved me. In a lot of ways, Arrowhead laid and built the foundation of my faith.
We actually attended the very first time, the very last service in the Rose Center before they moved to over by Fred's. Fred's, it was very different than any kind of church I'd ever been to.
If you'd ever said, oh, you're going to go to church in a shopping center, oh my goodness.
Very crowded the first time we came in there.
Would organized chaos
Yeah.
be a right
Maybe.
description?
But it also forced you to get to know people because you didn't have a choice to leave a seat in between you. You had to sit next to people.
We started immediately going to Fuse, and this is when we met in a little A-Kids room. I might cry when I talk about Fuse because we were sitting in this circle and we just started praying, and I remember Brett just like so humbly getting on his knees and just praying for these kids and praying for the ministry, and I was like, Lord, I am right where I'm supposed to be. My kids are right where they're supposed to be.
As the building was getting built, we came up here and there was no roof on it yet, but it had some of the walls, and it was a beautiful starry night. And all of us came and we sat there and we dreamed about all the people that would be coming to church here and what God was going to do and how he was going to be so mighty and what he could do in this building through the people that came and through the people who served here.
With Christian's adoption and it being difficult, we were in a small group, and just the people that were involved with praying for it when we were at the point where we couldn't pray anymore. After he'd been home for 2 years, we were getting out of the car and he was kind of hesitant, and I asked him if he was okay, and he said, I asked Jesus into my heart today. And I was like, you did? And he said, yes. I mean, that's what we have church for, is just to build them up and then let them go out into the world.
Had a lot of questions about Baptist. She was raised Catholic. Ben said, hey, let me come meet with you. He drove an hour to meet me at my work and spent lunch with me and answered all my questions I had.
That meant a lot.
That meant a lot.
Right after my dad passed away, and I really did need a place to go, a place to call home and feel safe in. I started to form a relationship with Jameson. Through that, I just decided to come kind of check out the church one Sunday. It was a community that was willing to love me, and that's the details that I remember.
Ben came over to our house, Ben and Sarah, said, we have a crazy question. We'd like for you two to pray about being part of a core team to plant a church in Greeneville. Yeah. So we called Ben and Sarah back and said, we're not even sure what this looks like, but okay, we're willing.
And so we began our weekly just prayer and worship with several families here. We have 3 or 4 families.
For me, the best Sunday is watching people that come in with apprehension or fear leave as friends.
Honestly, could not be doing what we're doing here in Kenya without members and the leadership of Arrowhead loving us and supporting us so well.
When I first came to Portland 3 years ago, I met this young man named Zach. He's not a believer. I am actually going to get to have
dinner with him this week, hopefully get the chance to talk more about the gospel. And so I'm praying for him.
My husband and I are praying for the salvation of our youngest son.
There's a guy at the gym.
One of my neighbors, someone that doesn't know Jesus.
So I have this friend at Carson Newman. He is from Europe.
My neighbor who lives across the street.
My cousins.
And I'm just praying that he finds a deep faith.
Every morning I pray, God, just lead me in the path of someone that you want me to minister to.
A young man has really never been to church.
Some family members that I have, they've been heavy on my heart, and I've been praying for them.
Well, I think 2019 is a time to know that I'm a child of the one true King, that Jesus saved me and He loves me, but I have to walk in obedience to show the world who Jesus really is.